Confirmed active shooter. Shooter's still at large. We got one man down.
Sound like gunshots.
Okay, Dave, they're doing CPR on a guy here.
They just told us shelter in place, so we sheltered in place.
We have located 5 additional deceased adult victims. The victims all worked at Molson Coors.
I could have been one of these people.
We're all just happy to be okay.
Been here 42 years. I just can't believe it.
Earlier today, a wicked murderer opened fire at a Molson Coors Brewing Company plant, taking the lives of 5 people.
Officers located the suspect, a 51-year-old Milwaukee man, deceased from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
This is an unspeakable tragedy for our city. This is a community tragedy.
First Lady and I will be praying tonight together for the lives that have been lost.
Governor of Wisconsin calls what happened here today another senseless American tragedy.
5 employees shot and killed. We learned the shooter worked at the brewery. Police say that he died from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. We want to show you a map of the area of 35th and Highland. That's the area near the brewery and company headquarters.
12 News is leading the way with live reports on what happened, what we know about the shooter, and how the city and world are reacting tonight. Caroline Reinwald leads us off with reaction from company officials. Caroline.
Yeah, well, just under 8 hours after that active shooter situation, we are finally hearing from Molson Coors leadership coming out here speaking to a slew of reporters on scene. The CEO of Molson Coors called this a tragedy today, said that they are a family here at Molson Coors. He thanked first responders who rushed here to the scene to try and help after one of their employees shot and killed 5 other employees and then apparently shot and killed himself. Listen to what that CEO had to say just minutes ago.
We're a family here at Molson Coors in Milwaukee, and this is an unthinkable tragedy for us. I've had a chance to speak to some of the employees that were still here when I arrived this evening, and I'd like to thank them for their bravery. And it really is very important that we keep them all close in the days and weeks that are coming. All across Milwaukee and Wisconsin, there are folk that are associated in some way with our employees at Molson Coors, and I'd ask you to stay close with them, and particularly the families of those who lost their lives today.
Now, we also heard from the mayor and Chief Alfonso Morales here, as well as that CEO. They did not take any questions from the media. I did try asking the one question that has been on our minds of why this employee was disgruntled, why they got upset, if they were fired. We have heard that from our sources. They would not tell us or confirm any of that information. We are still working to get that ourselves. I'm live outside of Molson Coors tonight. Caroline Reinwald, WISN 12 News.
And we were able to hear that the plant will actually be closed for the rest of this week. Thank you, Caroline.
And our coverage continues now with Derek Rose. He is live back in the studio tonight. And Derek, police gave their first update around 6:30 tonight.
And also, Derek, joining the police chief at that news conference were the mayor, the governor, and the lieutenant governor.
They were, Patrick and Joyce, and they were limited on what they could say, as you heard Caroline mention about the investigation itself. But they did speak tonight on the emotion and the heartbreak of today's tragedy.
Because there were 5 individuals who went to work today, just like everybody goes to work. And they thought they were going to go to work, finish their day, and return to their families. They didn't, and tragically, they never will.
We shouldn't accept this. This is not the way that things should be. And we should never grow comfortable in the face of these repeated tragedies all across America, and especially right here at home. We have a duty to act. We have to be more responsible as a city, as a state, as a nation, and stop these preventable tragedies from happening.
It is a tragedy for Milwaukee, yes, but it's a tragedy for the entire state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a strong state. What happens in Milwaukee happens, it impacts people all across the state.
Our state and city leaders, the latest list of officials having to address their community following a deadly mass shooting. This time it hits close to home, the backdrop here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Joyce and Patrick.
A tragic day for the city and the state of Wisconsin. And employees reunited with family members here at 46th and State.
Matt Smith joins us now. And Matt, you actually spoke with someone who was in the building when the shooting happened.
They made the walk from this building right past the Miller Valley sign to this intersection where family and friends were waiting this evening. They had to leave behind everything, their personal belongings, their phones, their keys, what have you. When that alert happened, they immediately went into lockdown and have not been able to collect their belongings since. And tonight they are reacting. We are hearing stories from inside building number 4. One by one, families reunited at 46th and State.
It's sad. Yeah, it's sad. So
Employees reeling from an unspeakable afternoon.
We were evacuated to another building, evacuated to another building.
No, we weren't allowed to go back in to get our jackets or keys or anything.
Randy Chenoweth.
I could have been one of these people very easily.
Was inside building 4 when the shooting happened.
Well, I seen body out on State Street, but other than that, I only heard what I thought was gunshots. But and we thought somebody was playing a game by throwing something down the stairs. No, it was a body.
You've been here for 40 plus years.
42, yeah. Yeah, never seen anything like this.
How far away would you say were you from the gunshots?
Well, 15, 20 feet. If I wouldn't have gone to talk to this guy that was relieving me, I'd be one of them guys. Yeah, I know that for a fact because I would have walked right into what was going on.
Do you know any of them?
What I heard names, yeah.
Firemen.
Yeah, I know them all. Even the guy apparently that's accused of doing it. I don't know what happened. What made him go?
What was the police response like when they got in the building?
They beat on the door and we yelled, "Yeah, we're in here. We're employees," and we opened the door. You know, yeah, and then they escorted us out. You know, I had to have my hands up and walk down here.
Walking out with his hands up, the FBI was taking names and phone numbers of the people as they exited the building tonight, not only for a head count, but in the investigation in case they have any more questions ongoing.
And Matt, he said he saw the body on the street, but what we learned from the latest news conference is that all the victims were shot inside. So we'll have to learn more about this as the investigation continues.
And how it all develops. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Matt, thank you.
Yes.
Well, police confirmed that the shooter was a 51-year-old Milwaukee man who died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
12 News' Ben Wagner is live near Potomac and Cortland. That's where the suspect lived. Ben, we know the shooter worked here at the brewery.
Yeah, Patrick, Joyce, we heard that again here from police about 20 minutes ago in that update just a little bit ago. I want to step out and show you here what this scene looks like. It has been active all day. There is now a fire truck on scene that has rolled up here in the last 20 minutes or so. They're focusing on that house with a light on. This is as close as we've been able to get. For 6 hours plus now, police have divided this northwest side Milwaukee neighborhood. For hours Wednesday, police tape divided this neighborhood at Cortland and Potomac. Officers searching the house of whom multiple sources say is the suspected shooter, a 51-year-old Molson Coors employee who police say died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Exclusive video from News Chopper 12 shows the large police response to this neighborhood.
Yeah, it's scary. That's too close to home.
Pat Niemi lives just up the street from where police focused their investigation. She didn't know the person who lived there, but like many neighbors, she has unanswered questions about what's taken over their community.
We're hearing that it could be the suspected shooter at the Miller Coors.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
You know anybody that lives down that way?
I know a few people, but not in that house, no.
Police at the scene would not confirm the investigation is related to the shooting at Miller Coors. Sources have confirmed the suspect's name, and 12 News has learned this is where he lived.
And Ben joins us once again. Ben, once again, as you said, police have not confirmed that scene is related to the shooting, but others have made that connection.
They have, Patrick, State Rep Lakeisha Myers, whose district is right next to this neighborhood, tweeted tonight that this is all in relationship to the shooting at Miller Coors. Again, we are not naming the suspected shooter, but multiple sources have confirmed that person's name to 12 News. Patrick?
Ben Wagner with that update live near Potomac and Cortland in Milwaukee tonight.
So we want to share with you now the first communication among first responders during the initial call this afternoon.
All the police that are passing us are going on State Street. Looks like they're going to some of the production buildings. Because that address on Highland is actually the main office is 401 in State, southwest corner. Okay, car 2A to car 2C. Officers are now running eastbound on State from 41st. I'm just trying to keep an eyeball on them. They're on the south side of the street. They're looking for something here. Okay, Dave, they're doing CPR on a guy here. I'm going to get words from, I got Blue Negative. All right, copy that. I'll have one Redwood come up to me on 37 in State.
And police got that first call at about 2:08 this afternoon. President Trump responded to the tragedy from the White House earlier today.
12 News' Kent Wainscott is in the newsroom with what the president had to say. Kent?
Yeah, even before Milwaukee police had released details of this mass shooting, President Trump spoke to the nation about it. It was a planned address about coronavirus, but he opened his remarks by addressing the tragedy in Milwaukee.
And I'd like to extend my deepest condolences to the victims and families in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Earlier today, a wicked murderer opened fire at a Molson Coors Brewing Company plant, taking the lives of 5 people. A number of people were wounded, some badly wounded. Our hearts break for them and their loved ones.
And he concluded those remarks by saying, our hearts go out to all the people of Wisconsin. Joyce, Patrick.
A reaction from the White House. Thanks very much. Kent Wainscott reporting from the newsroom. News Chopper 12 had a unique vantage point of everything that happened here this afternoon.
Right. Our helicopter gave us a view from up above. News Chopper 12 showed us some of what was happening behind the police tape.
These are some of the images from above. News Chopper 12 spotted officers on a roof checking a building. On the ground, the rush to the Miller Valley. Employees escorted out of buildings. Officers moving around campus. And lines of emergency vehicles at the ready. In one parking lot, 12 News' Matt Salemi spotted officers searching a vehicle. And at nightfall, a long line of flashing lights.
A large police presence. We've got hundreds of official vehicles from all different agencies.
Some of those vehicles were near 2 bodies outside.
There are 2 bodies out right off of State Street in that little tunnel, and they're right in line with that vehicle that they were searching earlier. So that is right on the corner of this lot here. They were taking some photos and going through that vehicle, and then right down that little alleyway and under that tunnel, right into State Street, 2 bodies.
And Joyce, when you see that video, you really get a sense of the sense of urgency when this was going on, what was happening with the investigation, and just how many law enforcement officers were involved and still are involved in this investigation.
And how much ground they had to cover.
Right.
The police chief said they had to go through 20 buildings on that site. We've heard throughout this this tragedy that this is a community. Molson Coors is a community, and all the brewery workers as well. And there is a bar offering support this evening for all of those who survived this tragedy. Our Sarah Tamer is there now. Let's go to her live tonight.
Well, Joyce, Spitfires on State is just a couple of blocks down from the brewery, and it was very clear to see tonight just how much those employees mean to the people who work here. A bar where Miller Brewery regulars hang out.
These are family, they're friends. You know, they're not just workers, they're people we know deeply down here in the valley.
Tonight, a place of heartbreak and hugs, and instead of sports, devastating news that hits too close to home.
They got evacuated, they didn't have money, didn't have keys, didn't have their jackets.
Spitfires on State is doing its part to show support for Miller Brewery employees who are grieving their own.
So we said, come on down, we'll get you guys some beers, get you some water, soda, whatever you need. We'll put some food out.
Mike was working when he heard the news. An active shooter at the brewery.
Disbelief, that's all I can say. I didn't know what was going on, I had no clue.
He says the outpouring of support here means everything on an unimaginable day on the job.
These people are amazing. Spitfires is unbelievable.
And Joyce and Patrick, the owners here, tell me a lot of people have stopped by with donations to help grieving families.
All right, Sarah Tamer reporting live for us tonight.